Hey guys, Guy here. It's time to capitalize on one of the hottest stories in the NFL. 49ers rookie right guard Dominick Puni. Last week, after his first preseason game, he got the Baldy film breakdown treatment. Baldy went about 2.5 strong minutes of Puni breakdown. And then Tuesday, he got the Geoff Schwartz breakdown treatment. 16 minutes of video breakdown from Geoff yesterday. So I texted Geoff and I said, you got to come on and tell everybody what you think about Dominick Puni. Now, if you don't know Geoff, he's one of the internet's and real life's foremost offensive line experts, played in the league for nearly a decade. Great player at Oregon. I read on Wiki today, set the team squat record at the time at 505 pounds. I don't know if that still stands. Probably not. He writes for Fox Sports, co-hosts the Bear Bets podcast with Chris Felica, his own podcast. Geoff Schwartz is smarter than you. Just to prove the point that he is deep in the O-line tape, he is a voter for the Joe Moore Award, which goes out to the best offensive line in college football every year. I don't want to just typecast him as an offensive line guy, so we'll talk to him about some other stuff as well. But he went 16 minutes on Dominick Puni yesterday, so we got to start on Dominick Puni. And he is currently the offensive coordinator for Cal in college football 25 from EA Sports, where he's about to lead Cal to their first ever Rose Bowl. He takes a break from the fourth quarter with a minute left in that game to join the show.
I am way deeper in college football than I thought I'd be in this game, Guy. I'm not going to lie. I did not expect to like this game as much. I just in the OC. I sim the defense and I sim recruiting. All I want to do is be the OC. My year at Cal has been good. We're rated 80th. That's it. That's not very high.
In offense?
Oh, yeah. 81 in offense, 80 as an overall team. And I have the Heisman winner at running back, and I'm going to win a championship. So pretty good year for the OC, I'd say.
Now, is that Jaden Ott, or is that we're well past Jaden Ott?
We're in year 2020. We're in 2032.
Got it.
Yeah. So it's my guy's name is Garrison, I think, my running back. He had 1,400 yards this year.
Junior? The third, probably. Garrison Hurst's grandson.
Actually, I didn't think about that. His last name is Garrison.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. His name is Garrison, I believe. Like, we're in the semifinal game today. He has 119 yards and 26 carries.
So you're calling plays. I love.
No, I'm playing the offense. Like, I'm the quarterback. I got to play the game.
Yeah, but what I'm getting at is there's not a lot of offensive linemen turned offensive coordinators, are there, in real life? Who are the linemen turned OCs?
Andy Reid.
Yeah.
Wasn't Mike Tice in OC for a little bit?
Oh, okay.
I think he's an offensive lineman.
He is, yeah.
I mean, Brett Bielema, does he call plays ever in Illinois?
Yeah, I think he's a play. Yeah,
He's an OC guy.
He's like a big play guy.
Sam Pittman. These aren't the best examples, by the way. Sam Pittman. Who else is? There's got to be other OCs that call.
Mike McDaniel. Run game guy. Not an offensive line coach, but run game guy.
Doug Marrone, maybe. Doug Marrone might be up there. Yeah, not a lot of those guys. So I got a dialed in guy. I got about 12 main plays I run about. I hit all of them on the first two drives to see like how the defense is reacting.
You got a script. Your players like a script.
I have like a bunch of plays I like to run. I hit them all early in the game to see how the defense is reacting. Because the key I found, and we're going in depth in this way too much, is like just like in real life, like the defense can't stop everything you run. And when you figure out what they're not going to stop, you just can continue running that. It's kind of simple. You just have to get to that before you lose. You got to figure it out, guy.
That's
and one last
impressive.
thing.
Yeah.
One last thing is I think a tight end in college football, having one, is the biggest mismatch in the sport.
This is a real football take.
A real football take. So I try my best to find the fastest tight end I can find in the portal and recruiting. That's the one position I will recruit because that makes a huge difference in how good your offense can be. Because your tight end, even in college football, like think about college football. How many great tight ends are there in a given year? Not a lot, right? Because there's not a position that's developed as much in college because of spread offense. When you have one, guy, they're unstoppable. Who stops them? No one does. The middle of the field is not used very often in college football because everything's so spread out. But you find that college tight end that's elite. You're going to see Ferguson from Oregon in week 1. Like guys like that, no one stops them. There's no defense to stop them. So I've done that in the game. I've tried to get always a fast tight end. It really helps.
Terrence Ferguson. Yeah, I just saw today the Athletic put out, Dane Brugler put out his 2025 big board. Yeah, I'm trying to remember where he had, Michigan's tight end is a stud.
Yeah, he's good.
And I don't see where
a bunch of people dropped draft stuff today. ESPN put the draft stuff out today. Interesting.
Yeah, maybe just as we're wrapping up the preseason, you're going to have a couple weeks. You got to get people fired up. College football starts this week, so that's part of it, right? Like this is week 0 in college football this weekend. We have games. There's a game in
they're not
Georgia Tech, and they play in Miami in Ireland.
Ireland,
like that.
I think,
so,
Ireland, yeah.
All right, Geoff, you did a big Dominick Puni breakdown. He played 1 and now 2 halves of preseason football, and he looks like he's solidified himself as the 49ers right guard. And I don't know, the question starts becoming like, how good can this guy be? But let's just start with baby steps. Where's he at right now? What do you think? What did you think when you did a deep dive?
So the things that I liked about his game are not all about sort of the game itself. I liked the adjustments he made during the game. So there were times early against the Saints where some things, as a young player, there were some looks he had not seen before, I would imagine, maybe in practice. And he didn't have the best rep early in the game on that look. And then rep 2 and rep 3, it was better. So like in his mind, he already was able to process what he saw to get better. And the other thing I liked, again, this is not technique-wise. What the technique is, a lot of coaches will teach you, just block your guy, right? That's it. That's your job. Block the guy you're assigned to block. Don't touch anyone else because it can screw up other people, running backs. Just block your guy, which he did a good job. But there were 3 instances, 2 that were successful. 1 he tried but didn't really matter. That spin out was the one that he tried but didn't actually take the hit off a quarterback. There were 2 other times where he's blocking someone, and just the very last second, he put a paw out to hit a defender that was coming to hit the quarterback. Once it was on the inside, the left guard and center got picked, and he kind of just nudged the guy. And then another time, a linebacker came across his face, and like those things, again, very small. You might not notice them as you watch. I picked those things up. Those are veteran type moves, right? Just to make sure your quarterback doesn't get hit, but he's not losing his block to do it, guy, right? Because a lot of times when you do that, you lose your block to do it. He's not doing that. So those are things I like just mentally from him, right? I mean, physically, I thought he was aggressive with his hands in the pass game. I liked his ability to jump set guys, sort of get out and get his hands on guys. He did a good job when guys sort of countered him. I thought his balance was good. A lot of young players have this problem, which he had. He sort of gets tall at the end of reps, and then guys are able to sort of pull him and sort of try to get by him, but he was able to recover with his feet. And then he played Cam Jordan a few reps and did pretty well, held his own. Preseason, I get it, but Cam Jordan's going to the Hall of Fame, and he played well against them. So I liked what I saw. Wasn't much in the run game. Niners didn't run the ball his direction often. They ran away from him a couple times, and he did a good job of sealing off the linebackers and knowing his angles in the run game. I came away just overall very impressed.
The scouting report I got on him from one of the Kansas coaches, I think I've talked to you about this, when he came out was really good in the pass game. We didn't, quote unquote, ask the linemen to move the line of scrimmage a lot in college.
Yeah,
so
that's common. Yeah.
Kyle Shanahan said yesterday, he made a comment actually, because he was asked about Puni, and he made a comment like, there's not a lot of programs in college football whose offensive line play translates to the NFL. It's an entirely different thing. What is different about it? Is it part of what we're talking about here with moving the line?
Yeah, we've talked about this quite often. So the goal in college a lot of times is to run your play and then sort of get back up to the line of scrimmage and get ready to snap the ball again. So the idea of finishing a block, which is not a pancake guy, but just moving your guy further than he wants to go, is not taught so much in college because the goal is to get back to the line of scrimmage as fast as possible. You don't want a guy running down the field trying to finish, having to run all the way back, get lined up. So that idea of let's finish a block is not really as prominent in a lot of places. blocking from a 3-point stance, not done as often in college. In Niners, you're going to have your hand in a 3-point stance. That's part of the offense. The rushing attacks, right? They're zone reads, and you're always sort of running into good box counts where guys are supposed to be. The NFL, you got to chase linebackers. You got to run after those guys. Like, you don't see those things in the college game. You don't see Puni having to chase an off-the-ball linebacker past the hole on a toss play. That's not a block he does ever in college. So it's just a different game. And it's hard to know, but look, your ability to show, the physical traits on film and work on those and translate them to the NFL is an important part. And I think Puni went and saw and was with Duke Manyweather for offseason training too, which is hugely important to a lot of players' success. Duke
is a big O-line coach, right? He's like the I don't know. He's like the O-line guru. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
O-line masterminds.
Yes.
Right? So where's Puni from? Like, these are 2 preseason games. Now you mentioned a couple Cam Jordan reps, but is this going to translate? You think is what we're seeing here enough to go? Oh, he's definitely a starting right guard.
Yes.
They play the Jets week 1, right? That's a good D line.
Yes, I think you have to play him. He has one of the best films so far in the preseason. All you can do in the preseason, guy, is judge the film for what it is, right? And I talk about this a lot because people will say it's 1s versus 2s, and it is. But if Puni is a starting guard in the NFL, he should play well against the 2s. That's what he should do. How many times do we see guys play poorly against the 2s that are starters? All the time. He did. He played well against 2s. Again, he played well against the 1s as well. But so he should dominate against the 2s because those guys, in theory, are not as good as him, right? They're backups. He's a starter. So it's a positive to me to see him play so well. And sometimes you have to just say, okay, he's shown this so far, and just got to put him out there and let him learn as a rookie. I mean, there's no other opportunity. Start from the beginning and see how he does. The NFL's hard. Every week you're going to play someone who's good. You can't just wait for that week where the defensive linemen aren't as good to let him play.
Yeah. What do you think? I would imagine things change once you get to the regular season and they really start studying you and what your vulnerabilities might be and that sort of thing. So what do you think he'll have to kind of combat? What's going to be getting thrown at him here early that he'll have to account for?
Well, some of the inside moves he was a little bit weak on. His footwork wasn't as great. When he was jump setting, he'd split his feet apart instead of just sort of taking 2 defined steps, left, right, or right, left. He kind of just like jump and split his feet apart. So don't try to take advantage of things like that. But good. He's a rookie, man. Like, this is his second game ever. There's going to be things to work on each and every week. And then as the NFL finds something he's bad at, they will find something that gets him. Then teams will try that for a month until he figures it out, or he doesn't. We'll keep attacking him. But from what I've seen so far, he needs to start.
Can you tell from a strength standpoint, like where he's at?
He looked plenty strong. He didn't look he looked like he belonged out there. There's play strength, there's weight room strength. He looked like he belonged.
Yeah. We have a question here from a viewer, listener, Jeff. It says, with his feet, requisite size, and the uptick of speed rushers, could you see him succeeding as a tackle in year 2 or later? Could he be a tackle?
I think he's a guard.
And why? Why is he a guard, not a tackle?
I don't think he has I haven't watched much of them in the NFL, but it doesn't feel like he's got the body type and structure to play tackle. I mean, could you get him there on a pinch for an injury? Sure, but I don't see a long-term tackle. I just his play style and his body structure, I just don't see it.
Have you seen enough to have any sense of like what a projection on him? Like, what could he be? We talking about a franchise guard here, right? If we're talking about a starter after 2 what are we talking about? I mean,
I put a video up of Tyler Guyton, the Cowboys, the other day, and someone was like, Larry Allen. I'm like, oh my God. Jeez. He's a starter in the NFL. I don't know who he can be. A lot of that depends on many things. But how about we go with simple starting guard in the NFL?
Which is pretty good right away in the 3rd round.
It's fantastic, yeah.
We talked a lot about kind of the offensive lineman that the Niners should target in the draft. They ended up taking Ricky Pearsall in the first round, as you know. Tyler Guyton went 2 spots ahead. Dallas moved. No, I guess Dallas got him where they moved back, whatever ended up happening. But how did he look? What was your review on him? Because he was a guy a lot of Niner fans liked coming into the draft.
Guyton looks different than his film. He looks better than his college film. I mean, the Cowboys, I'll tell you what, Guy, they might not win many playoff games, but they develop offensive linemen. I mean, think about, Teron Smith, Zach Martin, Travis Frederick, Terrence Steele, Tyler Biotic, who went to Washington, who's in Washington now as a free agent. Now they have Guyton, Connor Beebe, who looked good in the preseason so far. They just roll them out now. I mean, again, go back to Duke. Like, Duke works a lot with Tyler Guyton. He got him ready to play. He looks a different player. He looks really, really good. I did not expect to see him play this well early on.
Have you watched Graham Barton, the center from Duke that the Bucs
have not
took?
watched Graham Barton yet. No.
You watched Kingsley the other day.
Yeah, he looked good. He played primarily backups. He looked fine. Puni's film was better, but I don't know if how you can grade better. I liked Puni's film more.
Yeah,
Kingsley did some good things. Different players. Kingsley's bigger and playing tackle, so Kingsley's going to be good. He's going to start week 1 for the defending champions. I mean, she's got to be good fast. They got the Ravens and Bengals in the first 2 games.
Xavier Worthy looks kind of good.
Yeah, kind of good. He's going to change their offense. The Chiefs are going to be better this season. I don't think people realize what this is going to do to their offense, having this guy back again. It's going to go back. Teams go back to 2 high shells. It's going to be lovely.
I mean, Mahomes had the highest percentage of throws behind the line of scrimmage of any quarterback in the NFL last year.
Behind the line of scrimmage. Yeah, it ain't going to be this year. I'll tell you that.
So the percentage of his throws that were behind the line of scrimmage, that percentage, not completion percentage, just the bulk.
Yeah, no, it won't. Yeah. That won't be this year.
Yeah. Scary. What's your give me this? So this is Wednesday, August 21st. The Niners play preseason game Friday. Trent Williams obviously won't be back for that, but let's just say he's back Monday, 2 weeks before the season begins. Any issues with the lack of training camp or preseason games for Trent Williams?
Not for an older player, I don't think so. I remember Joe Thomas saying to my brother one time, and then Mitch Ready told me that he needed 9 practices or 9 or 10 to get ready for the season. That's it. So Trent knows what he needs. He'll come back. He'll be fine. I mean, look, probably a little. I would imagine week 1, 2, 3, maybe a little gassed at certain points of a game because game shape's a little bit different, but it's not going to matter for him. So he'll be fine. Need him back, obviously. Is Brandon Aiyuk what's the deal, man? Is he in or out? What's happening?
He's in.
So he's in?
Nothing's happened yet, but I was just laughing yesterday. In the last week, we've had the report of what the Steelers' offer was, which was, as we know, no players. The trade offer was a second rounder and later picks. And that their contract offer, Breer said, was like 28 AAV. It was barely more around the same as the Niners. So basically, the Steelers made a trade offer the Niners didn't want, a contract offer that Aiyuk didn't want. And Aiyuk still tried to play it like he really wanted to go to Pittsburgh. I mean, the whole thing is.
If you have watched Russell Wilson and Justin Fields, why would you want to go to Pittsburgh?
They're still, trying to. They got their competition rolls into this weekend. It's crazy. I don't know.
I'm
just you're looking for
that's been figured out. Yeah,
I think Aiyuk maybe he was looking for a team that he knew couldn't do a deal with the 49ers so that there was no risk of him actually getting traded if he wanted to stay. You know what I mean? He couldn't say trade me to the Browns. And the Niners okay, yeah, we got to deal with the Browns. Amari Cooper great. Here we go. And then he'd get stuck in Cleveland. He didn't want to go to Cleveland.
No, but. It's just, I think sometimes players, I'm very much for getting all your money. I think that's what players should do for their contracts. But if the money is close, go to situations, right? Guy the Niners situation is great for him. It's an offense that gets him open. It's a quarterback that get him the ball. Again, I look, you want to play the tax game. Sure, you get taxed a lot in California. It's different than playing in Texas or Florida or Tennessee. I get all that, but those weren't the places he's going, right? Cleveland, New England, Pittsburgh. So the difference is not that much. if the money is close, $1 million off, $2 million off. I mean, do you want to leave a great situation in San Francisco where you're winning, where you're getting the ball, when things are going well for Pittsburgh? For New England, I wouldn't. No.
Yeah, it's funny to be mad because I think part of it, he just wasn't happy with the Super Bowl. I think that really affected his offseason.
What was wrong with the Super Bowl?
Well, he didn't get the ball a lot.
I mean, the Chiefs defense did that to teams this year. That was part of it. They were good defense.
Who looks good is Jacob Cowing.
Where? I haven't even seen him. For which team?
The 49ers. They drafted him in the 4th round. Because they have because Ricky Pearsall's hurt, Aiyuk's gone, Juwan Jennings didn't play, like Debo didn't. They got no receivers, so Cowing is like getting all these chances, and he can return punts. The Niners, you're obviously not. The Niners receiver depth is very weird right now, so Cowing's got himself in a good spot.
I don't pay attention to wide receivers in the preseason unless they're Xavier Worthy.
You watched your boy Bo Nix the other day, I know.
Yeah, he was fine. He played the backups. He did what he should do against backups. I think that this whole Broncos going to win 6, 7, 8 games is a little aggressive, but he looked fine against the Packers backups. I'll tell you what, man. I tweeted that. I said, man, I know for sure the Broncos stars are better than the Packers backups. All these Broncos fans, were in my messages and in my tweets. The Broncos dominated the joint practice against the Packers on Friday. I'm like, no one cares. No one cares about who dominated joint practice. It literally means absolutely nothing. It means whatever you want it to mean. If you want it to mean that you're going to win this year, be my guest. It doesn't matter. I didn't watch the joint practice. You have reporters just talking about it. These are scripted practices. So dumb.
And they might have different scripts. Offenses, Broncos offense. I mean, I know with the Niners, right? Like offense is working on one thing, defense is working on something else.
Yeah, it's so we dominate joint practice. Let's go. You want to know an Oregon update I just see right now? By the way, you're calling the Oregon game week 1. No Jordan James at practice.
Oh.
It's a big. I mean, we have 8 running backs, but still not great.
The third running back from Northwest Missouri State actually is pretty interesting.
Yeah, he's 6'2", 215.
He's big. So. Yeah, he stands out on the field. I went to their practice last week. He's noticeable.
We got some offensive line shuffling happening. They finally announced it today. It looks like
Poncho playing center.
No, right guard.
Yeah,
Charlie Pickard at center. Yeah.
We got to let you go, but I was just going to tell you one other thing. I think people are going to look at Oregon this year. Here's one of my big picture Oregon takes.
Yeah.
People are going to look at Oregon and go, well, maybe they can build up to being a national championship team. I kind of think this is a year to do it. They're going to have I know it's their first year in the Big Ten, but it's Dylan Gabriel.
So my thing is if it's not this year, it's probably 26 because next year they're going to have a ton of young players. They're losing a lot.
That's what I'm saying. I think this is the year to do it.
They're losing their tight end, their 2 best wideouts, 2 best offensive linemen, their quarterback, a running back, their 2 linebackers, their best pass rusher, their 2 best corners. I think are gone. Yes. This is they lose everyone after this season. They all came back. So yeah,
somebody's got to win the championship this year, Geoff.
God, if it's Oregon, buddy, oh my God, it's going to be. I don't know what I do. I'm going to the game. I'll tell you that. I know that for sure. I don't know what I would do, man, if Oregon won. It would be unpleasant for Washington fans on social media. I'll tell you
that. They were this close. They almost pulled it off. I mean, they weren't that close in the end.
In the actual game. I mean, look, when you win 10 games by 10 points or less, you're bound to lose a game in a blowout.
Yeah.
What a bum team. I can't believe we lost them twice.
All right, Schwartz, you got to go. Thanks for jumping in and sharing the insight.
I got 1 minute left here.
You got a minute left in the Bros.
Finish up. I got a minute left. I'm up by 10. What's the situation? Up by 2nd and 7. They got no timeouts. So we're just gonna let the clock
run the ball.
Bleed on down.
Yep.
All right,
bye,
brother. Buddy.
Thank you. Bye. There is Geoff Schwartz. I don't know. Yeah, there he goes. I did see this comment here from somebody who said, where did this go? I don't know. Anyway, that was just a quick one. I wanted to get Geoff in here. You can go watch on his X page if you want, at Geoff Schwartz, Geoff Geoff. 16 minutes of Dominick Puni breakdown, but there you go. Drop some knowledge for us, because that's not we have passed my level of expertise when it comes to O-line play, so we had to get to Geoff's level of expertise. And I love talking a little college football too. All right, everybody, that's a quick one for today. Appreciate you being here. And don't forget, the Niners play the Raiders on Friday in Vegas. So if you're going to Vegas for that, or just going for, I've talked to 2 people today who are going to CIRCA for their fantasy football drafts this weekend. If you're headed to CIRCA Sports, or you're headed to Vegas, go to CIRCA Sports or in Reno and enter the CIRCA Million and the CIRCA Survivor, either or both. $1,000 to enter. CIRCA Million is $6 million guaranteed in prizes. You pick 5 games against the spread every week. Last place gets $100,000, and there's prizes throughout the season. Then there's also CIRCA Survivor. That's $10 million guaranteed to the winner or winners. Whoever goes undefeated, 20-0, or goes undefeated the longest. That's 1 game a week, no point spread. You can only use a team once. So you got to, it's a big strategy game, pretty cool. You enter Nevada, so you go to CIRCA Sportsbook, you go to CIRCA Sports, they get you signed up with a proxy there, and then you play from anywhere. That's how that works. Check it out. For more information, go to circasports.com and click on contests. All right, y'all. Appreciate you being here, and I'll talk to you later.